Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that Reb Tzadok says that there's no inyan to be mechaven the kavunas that the Rizal said, or then the Rashash expanded it. There's no inyan to be mechaven these kavunas if somebody's not a Baal Ruach HaKodesh, which means that he's not there when he thinks these things. It's meaningless, he says. Now, the Rabbi Yaakov Hillel I saw in one of his forums, he's a big Mekubal nowadays. So I saw he wrote that even though Reb Tzadok said that, but we go with the Rashash and we are mechaven the kavunas. I don't know. I don't know if the Rashash ever said not like Reb Tzadok. The Rashash wrote kavunas because he knew that those people that are mechaven, and he understood that means that they're there. But he didn't think that people are going to just use it to look in his siddur and think the words. And the Emes is that that's like taking something literally. I mean, and it would seem to me that there are many that learn Kabbalah nowadays, that they're learning is like taking something literal. That means, like, an example I'll give. That somebody says, there's once somebody, my ex-wife once went to a dentist. Or she heard about somebody that went to a dentist. So the dentist said, well, we have to wait and see. I mean, we can't do any treatment. I mean, we have to wait and see. So she said to me, what do you mean wait and see? But a person can't look into his mouth. It's impossible. So how could you wait and see? No, obviously, when he said wait and see, he didn't mean to take your eyes and look into your mouth with your eyes. He meant, that's how Lashon B'nai Adam, that wait and see means we'll wait and we'll until we find out what happens. So there's such a thing as a Lashon B'nai Adam, and then there's such a thing as people that they take it literally, mamish literal, and they can't understand. What do you mean? Wait and see what's going to happen with your teeth, but you can't look at your teeth with your own eyes. I don't even have to explain what. So the same thing is over here. It seems to me that learning Kabbalah and just reading the words is the same thing as that story over there. Now, I want to say even more. I saw once, and there's a Shul Be'ez Imre Shefer, so there was a certain Mekubal, the Sfardi Mekubal, that he's a Talmid of Rav Getz. And he said that Rav Getz was the biggest Mekubal in our time, which I don't know if it's true. And he knew the whole, I call it the plumbing of the heaven. That's my own way, my own lashon that I made up. Which means that it's very complicated. It's a very complicated limud because you have to put together the 10 spheres, the Shemus of Hashem, the 4 worlds, the different ways of spelling the Shem Hashem, and everything putting together. So it's a very complicated plan, let's call it. And he says that Rav Getz knew the whole plan. Okay, very good. This person was a Talmud of his, learned by him many years, and he also knows what I call the plumbing of the heaven. Now, there he was sitting in Shul in Erev Shabbos next to a Parshat Sfardi, they're both Sfardim. And this Parshat Yid gave the Mekubal Siddur as Sfardi Siddur. So this Mekubal said, no, I don't want to use that Siddur because they didn't write the Shem Hashem the right way, or when they wrote the combination of the Shem Havaya with the Shem Adnas, it's not written the right way. it's not written according to the Kavanas Arizal, which I don't know what that means. So, the Pasha Yid said, well, I don't know. When I say Shem Hashem, I think Adonai Kol. I don't know more than that. So the Makubal said, that's Pshat Shebe Pshat. That's what he said. So Bekitzer, what I'm saying is this Makubal, he goes around like a Ono, Vashval Berech, and that's how he talks to a Pasha Yid. And that really, really bothered me. That means, how could you, that you know the whole plumbing of the heaven, the whole system you know, and yet you could talk down, look down on our Pasha Yid that he thinks Hashem is the Adonai. Well, how could you look down on him? I would say that when you think Adonai Kol, that includes everything. Hashem is the master on all the plumbing, on the whole system, on all the pipes, on all the complicated system that there is. Hashem is the master on it, so that should include everything. Of course, the Pashta Yid doesn't know that, but Sof Kol Sof, the Adonai Kol includes everything. And another thing, I mean, if you really believe that Hashem is the Adonai Kol, so he's the master on the Pasha Yid also. That means that Hashem wants the Pasha Yid should be here, and he should think he's Adonai Kol, and he's part of this whole spiritual system that Hashem created. So how could you look down on him? So, I mean, isn't he Malchus, the Malchus of Asir, whatever name you might call it in Kabbalah? So he has a place in the puzzle, and you know that because you learned Kabbalah, so you should know that he has, unless maybe they only learn about the plumbing of the heaven, but they don't learn about neshamas maybe, which is another thing I didn't even mention, that there's such a thing as neshamas. And there's nefesh ruach neshama in a person, and then there's chaya yechida, which is, I imagine it's a big sugya in itself, this, but maybe that's not, in Kabbalah they don't talk about it so much, maybe, I don't know. But I'm asking, how could learning Kabbalah bring to such an attitude towards a push? Now, don't think I'm such a big tzaddik. I look down on people also. But I'm just showing an example that the learning Kabbalah is, I think, that has to do with just learning the words, the mashal without the nimshal. The nimshal is kochus with which Hashem created the world, connections with what we're connected to Hashem. So it should have been that if you know all the connections, or you know the connections of us to Hashem, so you should know how every person, everything you see, every stone, every person, every neshama, everything that you see around you has some connection. You should be living. I would imagine that you should be living like that. That when you open your eyes, you don't see a world. You see connections to Hashem. I would imagine that learning Kabbalah with what they call the nimshal, with the I don't know, I don't like so much the word nimshal, but maybe I would call it havana. If you have that kind of havana, so how could you talk like that? Okay, now I can't really be down that person, because maybe he forgot for a second. He lost himself. We all have a Yetzirah, so what do you want from him? I don't know, maybe I shouldn't judge him. Although I'm not such a big tzaddik, I am judging him. I admit that I'm judging him. But a mashal, it is this story. It is a mashal. And now, with all this, I can understand what I saw a story that somebody came to the Ger Rebbe, the Imre Emes, Rabbi Ram Mordechai, a Makubal from Yerushalayim, I think, and he asked him if he wants to learn Kabbalah b'chavrusa with him. So he said, I don't know, the only Kabbalah that I know of is Kabbalah Zol Malchus Shomayim. That's what I know. Which it sounds like a kid word, a joke. But I think it's very, very deep, this word, that he meant, it could be that he meant to say, you learn Kabbalah, you know all the plumbing, you know all the pipes, but your own Kabbalah, so Machus Shamayim, you could be missing. So all this I'm saying in order to explain what I meant when I said the Nimsha. And again, there might be a few people in this generation that they know it. I once heard from a certain person, his name was Moshe Schatz, that he said that so-and-so knows B'derech Nimsha. And something rubbed me the wrong way when I heard that. Because to me, it sounds to me like what he's saying is, he knows it B'derech Nimsha, and he has another chokhmah. He has a certain chokhmah that everybody else doesn't have, all the other mekubalim. He has a special chokhmah. So it's not Nimsha. Nimsha means, to me, the B'derech Nimsha means the hisbatlis that you have to Hashem. That means the more you see that every little detail is connected to Hashem in a certain way, so there's no world anymore. It's all bottled to Ratzon Hashem. So what? So you have another chachma. You have another chachma means another way to be a Baal Gaiva. That's what it means. And it was tremendous, very much it bothered me. And also the same Mekuba, I once asked him, did you ever learn the Gra, the Kabbalah of the Gra? He starts telling me a little bit, maybe, he saw it once. And then he says to me, Sheyu Brahim, Zelo Kabbalah. What do you mean Sheyu Brahim? That's how you talk about the Gra. So that's not Kabbalah, he says. So don't call it Kabbalah. What do I care what name you give it? I mean to say it's not what we learn. I believe you, it's not what you learn. What do you have to talk like that for? I feel like one day going up to this person and saying to him, if learning Kabbalah can make a person such a Baal Gaiva, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I mean the whole union is okay. Anyway, the kids, I think with everything I said, I explained what I meant when I said Moshe and Nimsha. And according to all this, if a person would just sit every day a certain amount of time, and he would just meditate on Ein Od Milvado, Ein Od Milvado, there is nothing else besides Hashem. After a while, he would reach the level of what you call Makubal. I mean, he would feel that Ein Od Milvado after a while. And he'll live a life of Ein Od Milvado. That's the Nimsha. That's the Sachaka we're all supposed to lead to. So Hashem should help us, and we should be Avdei Hashem with an emes, and we shouldn't try so much. And even I myself feel that it's not right to look for the problems in others and use that to understand what's right and what's wrong. Hashem should help us. We should all get out of the choshech that we're in. We should all get out of the olam, of the malchus, the asiyah, where the klippas are misgaber, and we should start living in a higher world and sing the Ein Od Milvado and not let all these little things bother us. And soon it'll be Mashiach will come, it'll be V'nigla Kvod Hashem, and then everything will fall away.